Hello there, and welcome to the Fish Tank Barn. Every year I do a video on which tanks are my favorite for the year, and this year is no different. There are various reasons that tanks will end up on this list. So let's go ahead and get started and talk about my 5 favorite tanks here in the Fish Tank Barn. I like to start out with a tank that's a perennial favorite of mine, and that's this 55-gallon Cyprochromis tank. I've had these fish for about 3 years now. They've really done quite well for me in the tank. What I really enjoy about the Cyprochromis are their bright blue colors and yellow tails, which make them absolutely stunning. Even though they are African cichlids, the Cyprochromis are more of a schooling fish and don't have the same level of aggression. One thing to keep in mind though with Cyprochromis is they can be a little bit touchy if you're having them shipped in. Unfortunately, they don't ship very well. About 18 months ago, I redid this tank and planted some crypts here in the middle in an Aquarium Co-op Easy Planter. As you can see, the crypts have grown in quite nicely. While these fish have always been pretty good breeders, this summer they've really dropped quite a few fry. Over the years, this has really been a tank that I've thoroughly enjoyed, and I'm really looking forward to enjoying this tank into the future. There are a lot of reasons that a tank can be a favorite of mine, and this 40 breeder is no exception. This tank is home to my Antinomias toweri from Ala Dewey Spring, which has been one of my best breeders since I added them to the fish room in the spring of 2024. This tank is planted with crypts on the bottom, which have started to grow in a little bit. I've also had some hornwort on the top, which I use as fry cover. These fish tend to hang out on the top a lot, so the hornwort does a great job for protecting fry. An interesting fact about these fish is they've been throwing some albino fish since I've had them breeding, which to my knowledge is the only Goodea that's been throwing albinos. While this isn't a greatly aquascaped tank, I really enjoy the schooling behavior of these fish and the fact that they've been breeding readily since I've added them here to the fish room. I'm really looking forward to seeing the plants grow out and seeing how these fish develop into the future. This next tank is another Goodea tank, and this tank is home to my Amica splendens. This is another tank that's been another favorite in these videos. In those past videos, the crypt garden was a little bit more lush, but I'll probably do some more work on this tank in the future to remove some of the crypts and kind of spread things out a little bit. What I really do enjoy about this tank and their fish are their historical significance. This is one of the oldest Goodea species in the hobby, having been collected by Robert Rush Miller in 1966. This is the original Goodea species that I purchased for the fish barn in 2019, meaning that I've kept these fish for over 6 years. This group of fish really holds a lot of meaning for me, and one I hope to keep in the fish barn for years to come. This next one is also a fish that has a lot of historical significance, and this 40 breeder is home to my Xenotoca eiseni from Nayarit. This group of eiseni is the oldest Goodea species in the hobby, having been collected by Robert Rush Miller in 1955. I originally purchased this group in 2022 and then added some individuals in October of 2023. During this time, I really had trouble breeding these fish and honestly got a little bit frustrated. Last summer I put them in a summer tub and I was finally able to get them to breed. My success with these fish also kind of spawned what I did this summer with tubs, adding a lot of Goodea species. Since I brought them in from the tubs in the summer of 2024, they've really shown a lot of significant progress in breeding. They've continued to breed in the tank and have really done quite well. This is a pretty rare Goodea species, and unfortunately, its habitat was turned into a Walmart. I'm very honored and humbled to be able to keep this fish, and I'm getting pretty close to being able to get some fish out to my fellow fish keepers. This is definitely a big project fish for me, and one that I really spend a lot of effort and attention on. I purely enjoy this next tank due to its breeding potential and the fish that are living in the tank. This Skiffia multipunctata that live in this tank are one of the more stunning Goodea fish in the hobby, with many of the males having bright yellow bodies and black markings. Unfortunately, I really don't have any colorful males right now, but these fish did drop a ton of fry in the spring. This fall, I'm going to do a little bit more work on this tank by adding some more plant cover as well as some rock work. I'm really excited to see how all the smaller fish in this tank develop, and I'm also pretty excited to get this tank redone in the fall and see how it turns out. In the end, I think this tank really has a lot of potential to be something special. I hope that you enjoyed taking a look at my 5 favorite tanks for 2025. It's always fun to think about the tanks that draw my attention and the tanks that are most inspiring to me here in the fish barn. At the end of the video here, I'll go ahead and put up a card with last year's video, as well as a video from my last fish room tour. And as always, thank you for watching, stay safe, stay fishy, and I'll catch you on the next video.